Singapore Cooling Measure 2021 is here. What it is, what it entails, and how it will affect you. Stay tuned to find out. Hi, everyone, Casey from Home Quarters, and today's episode we're going to check out 3 points of the Singapore Cooling Measure 2021 that have just been implemented just last night near to the 11 p.m. mark and is effective today, 16th of December 2021. 3 big points in total. One, the fact the HDB buyer out there, if let's say you are getting a HDB loan, the loan quantum, the loan to valuation, previously from 90%, you have dropped down to 85%. So for example, if you are taking up a unit that costs about $500,000, previously for 90% loan quantum, you only need to pay a cash or CPF of $50,000. In the new regulation and new guideline, you have to fork out $75,000. Of course, if that is for taking HDB loan. If you are taking bank loan, 75% is still there, 5% cash is still there, or everything stays the same. It's just the HDB loan that will be affected. So what it means for a HDB owner is that probably they have to come out a little bit more if let's say they're operating at the very age, but from a lot of time that we are serving a lot of HDB buyers, they are not operating at that front. In fact, they have more than enough CPF to cover that 15%. Second point, TDSR, total debt servicing ratio, that affect private property purchaser will be dropped from the previous 60% down to 55% today. So what will it impact? Alright, so for example, you are taking out a $1 million loan, 30 years at the normal employee rate. For TDSR to be 60%, you only need to earn about $700,500. If let's say it's a reduction of the TDSR to become 55%, you need to increase employment salary to about $8,200. The difference for every $1 million that you want to borrow is about 700 increment in salary range. So does that make a difference to you? It does if let's say you're operating really near to that maximum 75% of loan at a very teen age. So in Home Quarters, we actually advocate that you don't operate so near to that point, and actually 55% is alright for most people. Alright, so for the third point, we're talking about additional buyer stamp duty that will be implicating you if you're buying your first property, second property, third property. Alright, for Singaporean and also permanent residents, there is no change in additional buyer stamp duty policy, meaning that for Singaporean, there'll be 0 additional buyer stamp duty when you're purchasing your first property. For PR also, first property, there is only a 5% charge, remain unchanged since the last time round. But for foreigner, you are not so lucky. You are now being hit from a 20% ABSD rate to become a 30% ABSD rate. For entity, meaning the company, corporation that want to invest in property in here, previously is 25%, today it is 35%. However, all my investors out there, if you are buying your second or third property as a Singaporean, previously is 12% additional buyer stamp duty for second property and 15% ABSD for third property, have increased to 17% for second property and to a whopping 25% for third property. So it will definitely affect all the seasoned investors out there. So when they are selling their property, it could be that they could not buy back a residential property without the additional buyer stamp duty. For Singapore permanent residents, there are investors out there, your second property is 15% previously for additional buyer stamp duty, and third property is also 15% additional buyer stamp duty. For your third property, now I increase your second property, now you have to fork out 20% additional buyer stamp duty, and for the third property and beyond is a whopping 30% additional buyer stamp duty. So watch out there, our Singapore permanent residents investor. Alright, so in summary, who do you think it will affect and who do I think that it will not affect? For all our upgraders and first time buyer out there, it will not affect you. You will not be affected by the additional buyer stamp duty. The only thing that will be affecting you is your TDSR. You are buying a private property, or you are buying HDB loan, HDB flat that will decrease from 90% loan to 85% loan to valuation quantum. So you will be affected if let's say you're operating really near to the age of affordability, and here in Home Quarters we do not actually advise you to do so there as well. So it's actually even more prudent investing right now, buying a property right now for first time investor, first time upgrader, first time home buyer. So who do you think it will impact? It will definitely impact investor out there, it will definitely impact all our foreign friends out there as well, because additional buyer stamp duty, the minimum increase is 5% upwards to about 15 to even beyond increment out there. So you have to think twice if you are buying an investment and holding it for a short term, and probably you should think about holding it for a longer term for the property profit to realize before selling it in there to cover definitely for that additional buyer's stamp duty. So speak to us if you are keen to find out where are all the good properties, high yielding property and high capital gain property are here in Singapore. Alright, so you are keen to know more about how this will affect you for investor, home buyers, upgrader, asset progression, etc. etc. Do click the link down below to contact us right now. My name is Casey from Home Quarters, and as always, call Home Quarters and start packing.